We gotta look back at this.
How does he maintain possession?
Jenkins, and that definitely was a little helmet-to-helmet on that hit.
Guys, Meredith Gorman here, and are you still not subscribed to Matt's channel? Well, if you're not, hit the subscribe button because he's giving out free picks each and every week. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
We are back, guys. NFL Week 1 is already here. Best time of the year is the football season. Of course, I'm back with breaking down some games for you guys. Provide free teaser plays, underdog options of the week, and more. What a game to start the year, right? Ravens versus Chiefs. They basically won by a toe. Isaiah Likely, huge game for him. Big game. Very excited to see how much of a big factor he could be from game to game for them. 2 tight end set with Andrews. Looks like Likely's maybe taking over the main role at tight end there. But so close. They would have went to overtime. They could have gone for 2. I saw Harbaugh holding up to 2. Go for 2. And then foot was out. Tough, right? Good for the under, though. I was on the under 47.5 for clients. It got there. It was a sweat. I don't think it should have even got there. Like, if you look how it got there, it was a crazy catch by Bateman, circuit catch. Excellent catch there. Worthy, blown coverage in the secondary. Quick touchdowns late in the game. That's how it got close. We were sitting really nicely heading into, the third, fourth quarter there for the under, and then it kind of just exploded, almost got out of hand. But, yeah, nice hit there on the under. We did have a small unit loss on Henry over in rushing, but profitable start to the year. Client packages are available. Shout out to a handful of new clients who got on board. Also, returning clients from over the years, and also long-term clients that understand how the system works. Systemsportscapping.com or link.me/systemcapping to get all different size and shapes and packages over there. Go check it out. We got monthly, we got full season packages, everything over there. I got resume over there, records, and more. Back in the Circa Survivor contest, guys. Yes, another year back in it. Just the Survivor contest this year with a long-term client. Shout out to you, Jimmy, if you are listening. 2 entries in that tournament, $1,000 a piece. I did pretty well last year. Made it to the final, I think 500-600 people, and then we lost in week 11. So I think it's pretty good, right? If you get over past week 9, 10, you're doing well in Survivor. So hopefully going all the way this year and win that big prize. NFL reminder for you guys that haven't been following me for years. I know a lot of returning viewers, so I do appreciate that a ton. We're also on Apple Podcast now, Spotify, and obviously for YouTube video watchers, you're watching me here. Reminder, over 80 units last 3 years. Lowest profitable was last year, just under 20 units. Remember, I'm a small unit guy, right? Structured system, 0.5 units, 1 unit, best bets 2. Right, so those units look even better now with the structured system. Profitable 11 years in a row for me personally, 6 documented through the podcast, and then 3 with clients. Vegas contest winner as well, Pro Pick'em 2018, 2019, William Hill. The list goes on, guys. Hopefully you have been following me and tailing me. It's much appreciated. Let's hear from my friend Kristen before we get into this breakdown and card.
For you sports bettors out there, let's be honest, you probably need a little bit of help beating those books. System Capping is a proven long-term winner against the sports betting market in multiple sports. He's built a worldwide clientele due to his high winning percentage over the years. Be sure to click the link on the bio down here to check out his profile, and you can also find out his resume, client comments, podcasts, and subscription opportunities. I'm going to be following him along too, so let's win some money together this season.
Let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it. If you guys remember, I talk 3 games. 3 games that I pick out. Usually not client plays, just to let you guys know. But other games I like. One being the Monday Nighter, like always. So every week I will talk the Monday Nighter. No matter what the game is. This week we got a good one. So stay tuned for that. Jets versus San Fran. What a Monday night we got there. We'll also talk Houston at Indy. Big game. Big division game to start the year. And then Cowboys at Browns. Another big game. I try to talk the biggest games of the week. And usually sometimes those aren't the best games to bet. I do have a Houston at Indy free play here for you guys that I'll be betting for clients as well. Giving you a little week one play. Give you a few teaser bets as well. Favorite teasers. I don't do them every week for clients, but I usually do for a smaller unit. I always suggest, if you're going to do teasers, don't get too crazy about it, right? Don't have any large units on it. I like to have a little fun with it. I do find some value at times with it. You got to be able to hit it. I hit plus 120 teasers, 3-team, usually 7-point. That's what I kind of suggest. And then we'll talk a favorite underdogs. We've had wild success with these underdogs. Hopefully we continue it this year. We'll talk my favorite this week. Let's get into it right now. Houston minus 2.5. Some have it 3. Shop around. Personally, I was able to get at 2.5 a little earlier in the week. A big game in the division open up the year, right? The improved Houston Texans. Even from last year, how good they look, they're improved this year. We'll talk about that. And there's a lot of hype coming into the season. I'm one of those guys that's hyping them up. I'm on the train, guys. I'm on the Houston train. I'm in the future market on a few bets. Love what we saw from them last year, right? I didn't see that coming. Before the season, I didn't think Houston would make the playoffs. I didn't think they would definitely not win the division. That one loss I had in the future market was Jags to win that division. Right? So I was not on Houston last year. Now I'm a believer. I don't think anyone saw them being that good that early. Rookie QB, right? But Stroud proved to have one of the best rookie seasons for a QB that we have seen for a long time. Right? He was excellent. And now all they're doing is adding a wide receiver 1 in Diggs and Mixon at running back as well for help, right? Added weapons for Stroud. Let's not forget the weapons they already had there, right? Nico Collins, he was the number 1 last year, and he was outstanding, over 1,200 yards. Excellent play from him. Dell was a favorite target as well, but got hurt. In just 11 games, he had 7 TDs, big splash plays from him, deep threat, and he had over 700 yards. So the weapons already were there. They just added some veteran guys there in Diggs and Mixon. Not only did this team improve on offense, guys, they also added edge help with Hunter, who just had 16.5 sacks for the Vikings last year, right? Imagine pairing him with Anderson, both on the wing. That's scary. Both on the edge there, that is scary. Scary. They also added Azeez Elishir, who had 163 tackles for the Titans last year. It's a quiet signing, but it's a big one for this team. Talk some Indy. Richardson got hurt after 4 games. Looked good prior to it. We have questions on how he's going to return and how he's going to look in game 1 right out of the gate against a tough defense, right? Questions with the Colts defense as well. Poor secondary numbers last year. So you do expect the Texans to have success in the air. It's week 1. I get it. Maybe their offense won't come out clicking right away. But, I'm not sold on this Colts secondary making some huge plays right out of the gate. Obviously got Jonathan Taylor still at running back. Pittman there as the number 1 wide receiver. So they have some weapons. I just don't think they have depth with their weapons, right? Lack of a solid number 2 wide receiver. I know they have a couple guys there. I'm just not sold on them long term. I just have more questions with the Colts coming into this game than I do with the Texans. 1-1 last year. I believe Houston is the team to beat in this division. Only got better from last year, and I believe they should start well to win this game. Again, it's week 1. You don't really know 100% how the team's going to come out of the gate. But everything I just mentioned here, it's hard to stay off Houston in week 1. Yes, they're on the road, so I don't love it as much. But I saw enough to get to Houston in a multiple markets this week. Total seems a bit high for a week 1 game, but if Richardson's clicking, this game should get over. That total is all going to, I think, depend on Richardson if he comes out slow or not. I do believe Houston should at least get in the 20s in this game. Cowboys at Browns. Browns minus 2.5 total, 41. A fun one that kind of going under the radar in my opinion. I'll be definitely watching this game. I think it's a 4:25 game. I'm going to have to look at that, but definitely going to be on one of the TVs that I have in the multiple setup. Two good defenses, right? Top 5 in total yards allowed last year. That's one of the reasons why you're seeing this low total at 41. Very tough to back the under here at 41. Scary to try to bet that under, guys. I don't know. If I'm going to give you a free play here shortly, the only way I could look is, I'll tell you in a minute, but it's tough. The 41 with two offenses that could kind of, break up, especially on the Cowboys side. Yeah, it's kind of scary. Or Cleveland, they can struggle to score. I do have to mention that, right? Still no Chubb. Right? They got Ford leading the way. You average around 4 yards per carry. Not terrible, but it's not great, right? You got Chubb over 5, close to 6 per yards per carry. So it is a loss there. They did add Jerry Jeudy. I think that's a nice little help to the wide receiver core. Obviously, you still have Cooper and Elijah Moore, who stepped up last year as well. Watson is the big question, right? Will he play well enough? Obviously, he won't play up to that contract because you got to win multiple Super Bowls to play up to that big contract, right? No one's going to play up to that contract. But, can he come out, play well? We have seen at times last year he played well. I remember one time against the Ravens, he had a huge game, especially late comeback, and he got hurt in that game. So it's gonna factor in how Watson plays, right? That Dallas pass rush too could be a lot for the Browns to handle, right? Which could force some turnovers. They do have elite secondary in Dallas. And I expect Dallas to, be a top 5 defense once again. Lamb got paid, top wide receiver in the league, one of the top wide receivers in the league. Well-deserved payday. Next is Dak, who could break records for QB, so watch out for that. He'll have a tough test yet, though, right? Some of the toughest with Myles Garrett coming after him. That's going to be interesting to see how they block him, because there is some questions, I would say, on the Dallas O-line. New center, also a new guard, I believe, as well. So we do got to watch that. We got to watch that, how the O-line clicks early. We saw with the Ravens yesterday that the O-line was shaky at times, especially early on in that game. So they do have to play better there. Dallas lost Pollard. Keep it in mind. At running back, they got Zeke back. They signed Delvin Cook. A little thin on running back there for Dallas. Depends how Zeke plays, of course. But Pollard is lost a little bit there, I would say, even though he did have a downgrade in production last year. A very tough week 1 game to handicap. I'm going to lean the Dallas and the points and the over, guys. I'm going to lean the over 41. Again, this is not making my client card, but it's a game I had to talk about. I love this game, actually, to watch. I'm going to be interested in this game. I will be watching it. So lean over 41 and Dallas and the points. Monday nighter, Jets at 49ers. 49ers 4.5 total, 43.5. Fun Monday nighter. Doesn't get much better than this one, right? We have a few dud Monday nighters over the years. I remember that I make it a must. I talk about the Monday nighter, so it doesn't matter the matchup. We talk about it. We have the Jets. I have the Jets as a team that should be obviously much better than last year if Rodgers can stay healthy. Rodgers stay healthy, everything clicks. I think they do win this division, guys. I think it'll be close, but I think on paper, I think if this team is playing up to its potential, I think they're the best team in that division. I think Bills took a step back, and Miami, yes, they can score, but that defense is troubling, right? to say the least. They did get some help over the offseason. I think they improved this Jets team. I think the O-line had some questions. They brought in a couple veterans in Smith and Moses to help them out on the O-line. Rodgers needs to stay upright, otherwise he's going to get hurt. We saw what happened in week 1 of that game, right? They brought in Mike Williams as well, big target wide receiver. I like him. Can he stay healthy? That's the big question always, right? 49ers were able to get Ayuk signed. Huge for them. I don't have to tell you that. You guys know that. Same offense now with Ayuk there, right? Same as last year. They added that Purcell guy as well. But their offense is going to be clicking early. You got to expect that. Both defenses should be elite, right? Jets did take a step back a little bit last year. They did assign Hassan Reddick, but I don't think he's playing. He's holding out. So I don't know what's going on there. It doesn't look like he's playing week 1, and it is a loss if he isn't for that pass rush. I expect the 49ers team, to cruise back to the conference finals again. Jets obviously up in the air. We don't really know. Time will tell there. But yeah, 49ers, I have them going a deep run, at least conference finals, probably the Super Bowl, but we will see if the Lions or maybe the Packers or the Eagles, I'm not going to say the Cowboys, let's be honest. They haven't shown anything in the playoffs, but there's some options there in the NFC, so we will see. And we'll also see how Rodgers is going to look game 1, right? How is he going to look in the first game? It's hard for me to back Jets on the road with Rodgers not playing for almost a year, guys. Right? So I'd have to look at the 49ers here. Obviously like them more in a money line parlay. 4.5, right? We could see a close game. They win by 3. I don't love the spread here, but I do like 49ers in other markets. Money line teaser. There are some options where you can look at the 49ers. Total, I don't really have it's in that middle ground, 43.5. I don't really have an edge on that because you don't know how Rodgers is going to look, right? I expect 49ers be minimum 20 points in this one. Can Jets keep up is the question, and I can't give you that answer. Teasers. Let's give you guys, I know some of you guys like the teaser options. I don't suggest to, bet them for high units, hence the name teasers, but I do like to throw out a few. Every week I'll throw out my favorite teasers. For clients, I won't have it every week. I do have one pending this week, a 3-team teaser. I'll give you my 2 favorites from that teaser, and it's going to be Texans plus 4.5, which I talked about already. If the Colts do win the game, which they could, they're at home. Richardson would need to play really well, and the defense would need to step up, and we would have to see, the Houston offense come out sluggish, which is very possible. It's week 1. I think, Indy would win by a field goal or maybe 4 points. And then you get Lions at home, plus 3.5 against the Rams. I expect them to struggle in the secondary, and, obviously the Lions will be able to exploit that. I also have issues with Aaron Darnold. Life without Aaron Donald, not fun. So keep that in mind. I expect, and also the O-line on Rams does not look good either. So keep in mind all that for the Rams. I think Rams take a step back from last year, even though I think their offense is great, right? Great offense, but the defense looks questionable. Life without Aaron Donald and that O-line. Favorite underdog of the week, guys. There are a few. I talked about one, and that's going to be the play. The other one I can see, obviously, it's a smaller underdog, but it's an underdog at the end of the day. It's Giants at home. But we're going to look at Dallas. I just talked about it. I think that's probably the best shot for the underdogs. So there are a lot of low spreads this week, but like 4.5, stuff like that. And I do think at home, these 4.5s probably should win their games. But you can get Cowboys at a decent price out there, plus 130. Right, shop around. You can even get it maybe better, but yeah, that's the way I would have to look here for the underdog. Not making my client card, but it's going to be the underdog play of the week. That will do it, guys. That will do it. Week 1 podcast is in the books. Beat the Books podcast. Remember, all over the place now. If you want to just listen to audio, no problem. We got all the big platforms. Video, I'm here on YouTube each week. Still working on the setup. The lighting is not the best for this video. My actual lights, one light broke a couple days ago, so I got to go buy a new light for that. But we got the office and studio light on here. It's fine, just not as crisp as I like it. Don't have the background lights and stuff, but we'll get all that going for you guys next week. Like I always say, guys, bet smart and know your limits. Enjoy week 1.